Hey everyone, this is Elena Litvinova, and in this video I will start a new series of videos and we will create a blog on clean technologies. So we will create client with ReactJS, we will create a backend with NodeJS and NestJS framework, and also we will use PostgreSQL for saving our information for our blog. And we will write everything by our own. We will even have our own design system for our components, which we will use, and web design as well. In this video, I want to show you how to create a design system for a simple blog, which we will create in next series of videos. But before, of course, not forget to subscribe on this channel, press bell icon, like button, and go! We will create design system. Before creating any project, you of course need to think about what will this project have, how it will work. And basically this job, especially in the beginning of my career, I web engineer for 13 years and I have a master's degree in applied informatics in analytical economics. And in the beginning of my career, half of the way I created website independent. It was firstly front-end, and after it I made full stack with Ruby on Rails. Of course, when you create your website, you need to think about system, how you will storage the information, which database you will use, which backend will you use. For example, in the past I used Ruby on Rails. From 2018 I work with NodeJS, so backend is like a JavaScript, and you need to create a structure of how you will develop the website. In the past, I developed whole projects in solo, just in one phase. And now I would like to continue the journey on my YouTube, but make it with modern technologies, which is currently it's quite popular. And we will start from design system. First of all, I would like to recommend you this book, which I read, not the whole book, but some part of it. And this is incredible book, which show you how to create diagrams about communication between services. For example, if before usually I just draw some things on the paper or store the information in my head and not very thinking like just how everything super connected. So this book is very cool to help you put dots on i's. I can say it like that. Okay, let's start design system. For creating design system for our blog, I created next plan. First of all, general requirements, functional requirements, system design, web design, component architecture, database design, API description, performance, and accessibility. I decided that it will be enough for full stack application, which will be quite simple, so we will not think that we will have a lot of users. So we just imagine that you became just only popular and have some amount of audience, and try create this. And let's go. General requirements. What we want to do. I'm thinking about the blog. It means that we need to create something where we will be able to storage our articles, create them, save them, and show them, right? And first of all, general requirements. We can add basic info, so social networks, cover, title, galleries. How we usually can imagine the blog. There is a main page, like a home page with cover, like introduction, and after list of articles, right? With pagination, for example, and we can open each article and also thinking about the structure here. Now just read and, for example, share in social networks. And of course, we should somehow to edit this article, so create, edit, and etc. We can add articles. Each article is collection of blocks, so it's text, gallery of image. I extremely like this conception of creating articles. It can be different information, and two conceptions with blog. It's it's incredible. Just I will show everything in this video. We can share articles at social networks. We will support just only one language and do not support other languages, and this will be an application, so it will not grow. We not support that. We will somehow improve this system in our future, but you of course can continue and do much more job, interesting, add additional features, additional pages to make this website better. But this will be like a base, and I hope that it will help you later to create more complex projects depend on the information which you studied from this series of videos. This is the first part where we study design system. Go next, functional requirements. Support modern browsers. So how I said, I'm web engineer for 13 years. It means that it was a time when I developed application for such browsers like Internet Explorer 6. Thank you that we not support it right now. For now, I just agree with some browsers in the desktop like Google Chrome, Opera Edge, they have the same engine, and Safari. So basically checking Safari and Chrome, it's very cool because they have a different engine behind them. And we will create responsive layout, so our blog will work amazingly on iPhone or iPhone, tablet or desktop, and modern and cute designs. This is of course because I extremely like designs, and I even able to create web design by my own because I quite a lot work in this area and I studied a lot of different things. I even can illustrate. Okay, go next. System design. So first of all, I will show you large picture. We have a user went to the browser, and in the browser we show index HTML page, and there depend on router and JavaScript we will use for that. So we will show different information, and of course CSS. The client application will be written on React application, so it will be ReactJS, and a backend it will be NodeJS server, and it will connect with PostgreSQL. And we will deploy this project on DigitalOcean, and I will show how to set up domain name system there. And if we look on a little bit larger diagrams, it will look like that. Also we can, for example, there is a device, it's like our browser, right? And DNS systems, DNS, it's like a storage. We buy domain, for example, webalot.com, and we very good understand letters, but internet work with numbers. It's not understand letters, and we have DNS systems, and where we can give the key like domain name, and it return us API address. And even on our own computer we have own host file, and there we can even rewrite. So firstly, when we ask DNS from our own personal browser, our browser go to personal host DNS table, and later it's go into the internet if not found anything. It was a period when I blocked like that social networks, so to stop watching them. It was really cool period. Okay, cool. And we have device, we have server, and PostgreSQL. We will have relational database. PostgreSQL, it is my favorite one. If we go a little bit deeper into the, again, open this picture how it can look. So under the server we will hide some information from client React application. React application, it's React, it's JavaScript library, which is need to be used Webpack or any other builder, which is transform the code into simple JavaScript and CSS, and these files went to our devices. So basically, right? And this is index HTML, JavaScript and CSS. It can be much more. JavaScript, we have make a bundler there. It's how you set up this Webpack is depend on. But yes, and also we have NodeJS application, which also will communicate with React application basically by URLs. Everything will be on the same server. We don't need any cross origin requests, so everything will be on the same address. And NodeJS application is basically microservice, which will be used framework NestJS. I studied it for some period and I decided just to have practice somewhere. Basically this will be API. We will ask some routers, base routers for our devices for articles, and API routers. API routers will be connected with PostgreSQL, and we will use here NestJS. So it's amazing library which helped us to write very cool SQL code in JavaScript. And also, of course, validation. I was thinking about library Joy. It will be quite a lot of interesting things. Also here we will need to care about URL, about different attacks, XSS attacks, and things around it. Everything about it we will think in this diagram. Also, I was thinking about caching, but not sure that we will need it here because our service is quite simple, and I not thinking here about even any balancer or, for example, using several services or several databases with different replicas. So, and maybe cache is not very important here, but the goal of the cache, for example, some people asked one or several articles very often and you just save them into the cache. It works much faster than make request to the database. Basically, it's like optimization of performance and making our project working as fast as possible. Next section is web design. I created a web design in the Figma. Here I just share some posts from my Instagram account. If you want, of course, subscribe. And what we have here, this web design I created by my own. I was inspired by Figma community, but basically this I created by my own. Yeah, how I said, I quite a lot worked with different UIs and can even draw in Figma and Adobe Illustrator if it need. Okay, let's go. We have like a cover like that, what I said. We have title like software engineer and gallery and social networks. It's very cool. I made it like, you know, like with inspiration. Also, there is a list of articles here. And there is a pagination, load more. I was thinking about just normal, simple pagination, so not care about if we have really a lot of articles. We should to care about viewport and hide information before, so our scroll work very good and we didn't have any delay. And here we also have a footer. What we have next, if we open the article, we have a blog system article. So for example, we can have a gallery, we can have a title, text, image, quarter, images, and text and things around it, and author, right? I also put here login, but basically this login for administrator only, and basically it's possible to hide, so not to make users confused. But anyway, I just put it here, just simple form without anything else, without two-factor authorization or something around it. It's just email, password, and login. It's model window, how we could see. And if you logged in and the server sent us auth token, so we are able to work with this page, like to edit everything how we want. So to edit software engineer, all text, all links, add different slides. You see I put here some actions, upload new image, delete this image. And also here there are articles with also some information, so image, draft, title, and things around it. I also put here order to show range, but I think it's maybe better delete, and the order will be depend from the date, so when we create the article or update the article. But when I had my own blog, sometimes I just wanted to put some articles on top, not depend on when it was published, and because I was thinking maybe to add some range, but I think maybe we will delete. Here also delete different types, draft or public, so we will have two branches. Here I think better to create also pagination and need to add a button, create an article. And when we create article or for example edit, we can edit base info. We see what is draft or public, basic info. We can edit everything here, and everything else it's like a block. So grid of images, title, image, text, image, quarter, grid of three images, text, quarter, author. And here we have different blocks, and we can add everything, like add author, add and things around it, and we can sort them. We can delete any block, and this is really incredible thing about creating articles, and it's very flexible. It's very cool. Yeah, that's it. Now the design looks like that. So not everything here shown, but for me, basically, I'm a web engineer, and for me it's very easily to think later if I something forgot. When I will make development, I of course will put all details, because when you create a web designs, for example, you're a modern designer, you should to show every single piece, like how you're moving, even maybe to record a video and things around it, because this I create by my own, and I'm engineer, so I just know how if I something lose here when we will develop, not forget about it. Return back in our design system, so it was web design. Next is component architecture. Basically it's design system like components, and which component we will write everything by our own. Galleries, text, cards, and grid flex box, and etc. Footer, plain text, quarter image. And basically I was about simple architecture of components, like components, and there we have, for example, gallery, right? And everything about the gallery, like tests, hooks, all logic, will be in only one folder. There are different architecture about how to make this thing, but this is the best one in my opinion, because you storage everything in one place, and if you need to change something, you just change in one place. Also here will be pages, because it will like React applications, and it like if it React application, we will have ESLint, TypeScript, and Webpack, or I don't know exactly which builder I will use, maybe ReactJS, because it's just simpler. Webpack I'm not very like, because I used it before quite a lot, and it's very changed. I worked with a version 4 Webpack, and when it was transitioned to version 5, everything just was changed. You not often make setup for building, and you again need to went to the documentation and get to study everything from the start. Yeah, and just we'll think about it. Database design. So database here will be very easy. So we will not have different connection like one to many, many to many, one to one, because it's relational database, and this is very simple. I just made. So we will have for articles UUID, we will have alias, beautiful title for article for router. But also I should to add that basically this is my old project WebLart. I wrote in the past my own educational platform on NodeJS plus React. So I have here client admin, and server. And here, for example, I created independently articles and aliases also independently, because for example you can update alias, right? And if your previous article was published in the social network, you will like lose this URL, and basically one article can have a lot of aliases if you just update them, right? And also articles content, because here we had primary key depend on article ID, branch, and local, but I decided here to make everything as simple as it possible. If it branch, it will be or draft or public. It can be and draft and public together, right? And alias will be one, so we know that it can be like a mistake. Just try not to update aliases a lot, or you need just create a little bit another system. I tried to make this series of video as simpler as it possible. We have info like a JSON-B format, blogs also JSON-B, it will be array, and created and updated time. Settings, it's just only one line. Basically it's better to maybe save like key value storage. We have cover, title, social networks, footer, just base information. And users, basically just only one users, or I don't know how many admins you will have. And we will add it, register them maybe when we just create our application somewhere inside. We will create something, right? And here will be email, password, of course everything will be hashed, so we will not save clean password in our database, of course, and maybe even a mail hashed as well. Go next. 7. API description. I just put there several URLs. Basically all of them is get URLs, and basically I think I put here just URLs from a client. So we will have API like settings, API articles with pagination, article by alias, and post I think sign in, post sign out, and I think also we will need some information for post article, maybe ID or alias. We'll need to think how it's better. I added the UUI ID, not ID. Basically, ID it's not very cool. If you somewhere share the ID of articles, it can be not very consistent, and user can just catch between 1, 2, 3. Maybe there is a third one, you know. It's not very cool. And post it's so for update article, and post also we should about settings. Yes, IP. I think IP settings. IP settings, and yeah, I think it will be something like that. I'm not sure that I want to use here patch when you just, you know, when you update article, update just part of article. We will send the whole request. Performance. Okay, what is here? Network performance. Here we'll use HTTPS, saved protocol. We will zip everything what is possible. For images, we will use WebP and FIF, lazy loading, and maybe image optimization, and save it in CDN. Image optimizations is of course about saving in CDN. In this diagram, I will show it here. We will save it somewhere, and images and videos and things around it. It's quite heavy information, and it's very cool to optimize and send it from any service, for example. And we will think what we will use here. Maybe not to send it from a NodeJS application, because when I wrote these platforms, for example, I saved even videos inside of NodeJS. I wasn't thinking that it was very good ideas, but that time I had experiment and it was interesting. Okay, let's go next. Minimize CSS, JavaScript, of course. Rendering performance, so inline styles, JavaScript, links, semantic layouts, Web Vitals check-ins, basically Web Vitals check-ins with Google Chrome, and optimize, so performance by Web Vitals metrics, so just check-in. JavaScript performance, async await and cache. Async await, so I had a video, it was Russian channel about event loop, maybe I'll create, because it's very important to understand how work JavaScript engine, and yeah, about event loop as well, and very cool to use promises for some, of course, request information, so not stop the main event loop. Accessibility, here I put keyboard navigation, of course, use RAMs, YAMs, so to make the website very responsive, and meta text, so our articles will be available in social networks, and we will be able to share our cute stories. So this is design system. I tried to show the large picture about what we will create. In next videos we will start our project and we'll create this. I think it will be something very incredible and very cute. I'm very like bright and cute designs, and also write a clean amazing code, and I'm a perfectionist, and so let's try and look what we will have at the end of the series. So of course, so no missing next videos, and be subscribed on such amazing and brilliant channel. Of course, not forget to subscribe, press bell icon, like button, and not forget to subscribe on my Instagram account, because I also make some publishings there. And see you in next videos. With you were Elena Litvinova. Bye bye!